Oh my gosh. What's up guys, welcome back to the MG. We are back on weekly content with this car. I'm so happy to be back on this car. We finished a lot of stuff recently. It's out the door and we are ready to work on the fun stuff. So last week we built this mustache grill that you see, painted it black. We just got done putting our little headlight rings on. They look sick. We do have to do we gotta get some hardware to hold the headlights in, but you get the idea. I think it looks really great, honestly, better than I expected. So that's awesome. What we've got to do next is get our hood mounted. We cut out some structure to make it easier to get this big V8 in and out. As you can see, our engine doesn't exactly fit in the car, which is perfect, but it makes it really hard to get out, and you do have to pretty much take the engine out to do anything. So I made it a little bit easier for that, but I also cut our hood latch out. We got to put some new hood latches in. They're sick. We'll show you that in a minute. We also have to bolt this down. We've got a few other little jobs we got to do just to get this front end ready. The goal for the end of this video is to have the front end done. Donezo, complete, ready to hit the road. If you haven't seen this thing run or heard it, it sounds incredible. So we'll get that going at the end after we get everything kind of sorted. We're getting very close to driving this thing. I'm very excited and super nervous. Let's get to work. You ready for this? Here we go. Wait, here we go. It's the wide stance is the trick. You got it. Got it. So when we cut the center section out of this hood, we took out the latch basically. So I need new latches and I need new support for those latches. So I went in here and added in some tubing, just roll cage tubing, because we had it laying around to support this kind of center section here. So that's all welded in and it looks pretty good. And now we've got to mount our strikers. So this is a striker for my hood pin. The problem with this car, it's a little bit wonky. I got this car for a really good deal, but there's a reason. It's because it's been hit before. We've been having to kind of make stuff based around those measurements. And so I don't want to go ahead and install both hood pins because I'm afraid they're going to be kind of off a little bit, which you will obviously see when the hood's closed. So what I think we're going to do is we will make our mount on the passenger side of the car. That's the healthier side. And we'll go ahead and make our hood pin, drill our hole in the hood, and then we'll use the hood to kind of figure out where the next striker needs to be. I know it's going to land somewhere in this hole right here, but forward or back, I'm just not sure. And so I want to go ahead and get one in, make sure it's going to be squared up on the hood before we decide where we're going to place this striker. And I think it's going to work. I think it'll work that way. But first, we have to make a mount out of this little piece of sheet metal for our striker to screw into. That way, it'll be mounted and held in place, and everything will be good. And then we can put our hood on, and we can figure out where all this stuff needs to go. All right, so this is an ad, but don't skip it because you could win $500. Techron just started a contest from now until the 31st of May called the Pride and Joy Contest. All you have to do is go to the form, I'm gonna link it below, and you can submit your story of your build, your pride and joy. The winner is gonna get $500 and their story shared in the next Techron lifestyle video. The 4 runner-ups behind them will get a bunch of Techron merch as well as obviously a lot of free Techron. We love Techron here at Built. They're a huge supporter of the channel, so go check that link out. Share your story. I've seen so many of you guys builds over the years, and I know you have some really awesome stories to tell about them. So hit that link below, register for the Pride and Joy contest, and potentially win $500 and a cool way to share the story about your car. Okay, back to the video. That's why those are here. And basically, you can force that hinge up a little bit too if you need to. So can you lift it up? Well, it's not going up. Okay. Let's see, try lifting it now. Oh, wait. You see that sharp edge is just gonna come in and just destroy our paint like it did right there. See that? That's from us raising and lowering the hood. That's why I really don't wanna do that again. So you said it's worse?
Yeah, it's even worse. It starts from like up here now.
And we'll see. God, that feels really aggressive, doesn't it? Clip it. Keep coming. Wow, that's tight. Holy cow. Okay. Yeah, you can come down and just see what it does over there. Still touching. Still touching. Yeah, I see it now. Okay. All right. Come back up. All right, we have a hood that shuts. That was a lot harder than expected. All right, so now that we finally got our hood mounted, we've got our striker reinstalled. We're going to drop the hood down to see where this hits and then drill a hole through our freshly painted MG hood. The way I'm gonna mark it, I've got this Bondo hardener. I have a lot of this stuff, as you can imagine, and I'm gonna use it like paint. So we'll just put a drop of it on top of the striker, and when we close the hood, it'll transfer to the hood, and that'll tell us where we need to drill. Perfect, perfect. I thought it was gonna be right here. Oh, that's awesome. Great news. Oh, getting a phone call. Oh my gosh. Our drill bit broke and messed up our hood. So to avoid another accident like that, we'll be using a Dremel from here on out. The best part of all of this is this actually is going to cover up our little accident that we had earlier. You can see a little bit of it poking out back here. Nothing that a little touch-up paint won't fix. So very, very pleased with that. I was pretty, I was pretty sad. So this is covered up. It still can rust, and one thing you'll notice if you ever see cars with hood pins at like car shows or whatever, a lot of times if they're driven often, you can see like bubbles around the hood pins from where rust has gotten inside of there. Maybe they didn't paint it or seal it off whenever they installed it. So before we actually install this thing, we're gonna hit it with some spray paint and just make that all the way black. Okay. It's probably, yeah, got a little bit of bleed through. So the way this works is there's two pieces, and we've got these little nuts that go into this lower piece, and it just sandwiches itself onto the hood. This goes down and locks in place on the pins that we installed earlier, and that is a secure latch. They look really cool. They're super clean. And evidently they're aerodynamic, hence the name. That's cool. Look at that. And we barely have a little bit of that scratch showing, and it's black. I just love it. Love it, love it. Cool. One more time. One of the things I didn't like about the engine sticking out of this car is the distributor. It's huge, and I wanted to cover it up, so I bought this Holley carburetor cover thing, and modified it so that it would cover the distributor and the air cleaner. The only problem is it says Holley on it. This isn't a Holley car, it's a built car. So we're gonna grind the Holley off, and I've got a pretty cool custom touch that's gonna show everybody who made this car and that it was, in fact, me. We got the Holley ground off. Now I'm hitting it with some 180. I've got a little bit of filler in there. We're gonna get this pretty flat, and then it'll be ready for its new branding. Just gotta find it. Oh, there it is. All right, so unfortunately, our starter's not wanting to work today.
That's gonna be my ringtone. Quagmire, call me.
I've got to lift the car up anyway for the next video to get into doing the tubing and stuff on the back. So when we lift it up, we'll get under there and check the starter and see what's going on. Probably just some wires that came loose while it was being transported. But we did get some stuff done today that I'm really excited about. One is the air filter cleaner thing. Now says Built Official, which is awesome. I may change that logo up a bit, make it a little bit bigger, but you know, we'll see. But the other one, which is the big one, is these. This is huge, not just because I think it's cool, but because it means that our front end is locked down and ready to go. Everything on here is mounted and can go down the road, including the headlights, without falling off, which is the first time in like 2 years. So that part is very exciting, and I'm really happy with how this turned out. If you think about doing arrow catches, it's totally doable, but I would not call it an easy job. The hole that you've got to cut has to be pretty precise, and yeah, I wouldn't call it easy, but they are cool, and as you can tell, they're really fun to work. Awesome. I love it. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. In the next video, we're actually gonna migrate, since we've got the front kind of taken care of, minus some body working, we're gonna migrate to the back of the car. I've got to hard mount the fuel tank, because it's just kind of like hanging, literally hanging in there. So we got to hard mount that, sure up some mounts for our radiator and stuff like that. It'll just be a lot of mounts. Get all that dialed in. So the back will be done like the front, and then we'll be able to move to the middle of the car and do like our wiring harness, seats, all that cool stuff, so that we can drive this thing down the road. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.